Guys, it's Brandon from Team Ragnarok, bringing you a Royal Paladin Altmile deck profile. So yeah, I thought because obviously we haven't been able to upload very much lately, I thought I'd bring you a new deck profile from the new set, so you can kind of get a rough idea and kind of where the format's heading. So first, just starting off with Glime. Doesn't really matter what starter you use, I just use it because it's shiny and full art. Obviously, does the same thing all starters do in standard, is just on ride draw one. Then I play 4 of the new VR. Aerial Divine Knight Altmile. What Aerial Divine Knight Altmile does is continuous. If all of your damage is face down, all of your grade 2 units gain plus 10k power and 5k shield. Then, if you have an Altmile in your soul, they also gain crit, +1. His other skill is Act. Once per turn, you can Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, and you can call 1 grade 2 from your drop zone and 1 from your deck. This allows you to filter, recycle cards that you may only be running 1 or 2 of, and it allows you to get a board back if your board has been retired or messed with in any state. Very solid card. Next, for grade 3s, I play 2 of the trial deck grade 3, Blue Sky Knight Altmile. This Altmile, his skills are continuous, Vanguard, Rearguard. If all of your damage is face down, he gains 15k, so he becomes a 28k beat stick. His other skill is Vanguard. You can Counterblast 1, discard a card, and search your deck for up to 2 grade 2s. So it allows you to filter, grab those grade 2s that you need for your combos or extenders you need, and allows you to go off. Normally in this deck, we don't want to ride this. We want to ride Aerial Divine Knight straight off the bat, so we have that defensive skill active. But this is just a very nice rear guard. If it's on a Force 2, it's a 28k spin by itself with Force 2, so you know they at least have to commit 20k shield value to stop this itself. So it's nice for pressure. Next, I play 4 Libero. Libero is the newest staple for Royal Paladin to come out of the trial deck. Libero's skill is on place, from hand, Vanguard, Rearguard. You can Counterblast 1 to search your deck for a grade 2 unit and call it to Rearguard. But it has to be open Rearguard. However, if all of your damage is face down, you can Soul Blast 1 instead of Counterblast 1. This is the best extender in the deck. It can fetch you any grade 2 you need, any combo piece you need, and it just opens up plays for you. Also gives you an extremely powerful grade 2 game. And yeah, it just helps extend so much. Moving on after that, I play 3 Suleiman. So Suleiman is the new triple rare searcher that Altmile got. What it does is Vanguard on place, you look at top 7 for a card with Altmile on its card name and you call it to Rearguard. So it can give you a Blue Sky Knight for an attacker on your grade 2 turn, or just if you're missing a grade 3, it calls it to Rearguard. Its other skill is Vanguard Rearguard. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast 1, it gains 5k, and you can choose a Rearguard in another column and you can bounce it to hand. So it allows us to call our Altmile and then bounce it back to hand. So if we are grade stuck or we just need another Altmile, we have access to it. I only run 3 because I feel at 4 it just bricks. It's a good early game card for setups, but the later the game goes, you don't really use the Soul Blast effect. So I play 3 of that. Then the best card in the deck, in my opinion, is 3 Starlight Violinist. In my opinion, this deck would be nowhere near as good as it is without Starlight Violinist. Basically, its skill is on Rearguard, continuous. If all of your damage is face down, all of your grade 2s can boost from the back row. So this is what allows us to maximize Aerial Divine Knight's skill and just have a full board of grade 2s and swing for big numbers. Absolute best card in the deck, in my opinion. And the fact that it is recyclable means we don't have to play 4. It's not something we want to draw dead into. But because of Aerial Divine Knight is recyclable, if it's retired, we can just play it from drop again. So yeah, play 3 of that. Then for spot removal and just for good grade 2 rush, I play 2 Blaster Blade. As I just said, it's good spot removal. Everyone knows what Blaster Blade does. It's Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1 to retire something in the front row. And then Vanguard, if I have 4 more rear guards, gains a crit. So it's good grade 2 pressure and spot removal. And it uses a Counter Blast, which we are looking for. After that, I play 2 Akane. So Akane is good for the filter. Filters out my Pongles, it's another card out of deck. If you use Akane and search for Pongle and then Pongle Soul Charge, you've technically got 2 cards out of deck from using Akane. Plus, if it's boosted by Pongle, it hits 21, which is decent. It's nice, but it's more just using a Counter Blast to filter a deck, filter through the deck and get a card out. Also, obviously, with Pongle, we're going to want to try and cheese and soul charge a Altmile so we can have all the effects off at the beginning. Next, I play a one-off. This is a new common from the set called Tieon. I was kind of deck building with a friend and we were kind of discussing different cards and we kind of looked at this. It's a very good card in my opinion, very underrated. It's got 2 skills, both continuous, on rearguard. If you don't have 5 or more units, it can't attack. But the important part of its skill is if it's on rearguard during your turn, it gains 10k. So it becomes 19k anyway. If it's on the board when Aerial Divine Knight is on the board, it becomes 29 by itself because it gains another 10 from Altmile. And we don't really care about the first skill because it's a booster, but it doesn't say it can't boost if you don't have 5. So it's a 29k booster on anything. So if it's behind, say, Aerial Divine Knight, that's 57. So it can hit some really ridiculous numbers and just adds more pressure. However, I don't think it's worth playing more than 1. It's kind of like a throwaway card. Next, I play another one-off, which is Hopesong Angel. Hopesong Angel, it is a bit of a flex choice. It's not a card you need to run. Same with Tieon. It's just, I feel it is really, really nice. Basically, it's an act once per turn. You can counterblast 1 to search your deck for a Starlight Violinist and call it to rearguard. So the thing with this card is, I see some people not running it because we have so many other ways of getting Starlight Violinist. You don't need to run this card to be able to run Starlight Violinist, but the only reason we run this is it gets another card out of your deck. So what it allows you to do, instead of just doing Aerial Divine Knight to get a Starlight and, say, another rearguard, you can go Altmile, Aerial Divine Knight to get like an Akane, and then this to get a Violinist. So it allows you to get a board of 3 rearguards instead of just 2. Again, it's just a throwaway card. So if you damage it or don't see it, it doesn't really matter. But it's just a one-off search. If you do see it, it just allows you to extend a little bit further. Next, for grade 1s, we obviously play 4 Pongle, obviously to synergize with Akane for the soul charge, hoping that we get an Altmile in there or just some more usage for the soul, because this deck does Soul Blast. And obviously, if we hit a trigger, it's some early aggression as well. Next, I play 4 of the new Searcher Elius. Obviously, on place, Vanguard Rearguard. Look at top 5 for a grade 3 and add it to hand. If I did add a grade 3, I discard 1. And then it's continuous as Vanguard Rearguard. If all my damage is face down, it gains 5k. It's good to note that if you go second and you've got no damage, it will gain the 5k. Because it just states if you have no face-up damage. So it's a nice aggro card and a filter card. Then I play 3 Freenightsquire Allen. So obviously this card is, we mainly play it because it's a counterblast. It also draws a card, so it's filtering. Now, you can either play this or Marin. It is up to personal preference. But when I was discussing with my friend on the kind of the differences between the cards, we were kind of saying either Alan or Marin isn't going to stay on board for long because you ideally want your board to just be full of grade 2s. So it doesn't really matter. It's personal preference. For me, it does the same job. I have enough counterblaster usage, so yeah, I go with Alan. Moving on to triggers. Obviously, play 4 heal triggers. Staple. Then I have gone a little bit differently. I play 6 crit. So I play 6 crit because the deck does not have enough draw power. It has Alan, and that is it. It doesn't really have a way to filter through drawing. It has filter through soul charge and everything, but it doesn't really keep a hand. And as much as you do build up defense on your board, if you're up against something that has board control like Vanquisher or Kagero, you do want a hand size. You do want to be able to draw into your Liverots and being able to kind of still be able to make plays. So that's why I play 6 crit, and then that's why I also play 6 draw, just for the added draw power. Also, as you can see, I'm not playing the new Sentinel Prep that came out. By all means, if you want to play it, I just don't see a need for it. The PGs are too useful in this deck. The draws are too good. If you wanted, you could argue you can bump Margle up to 2 and drop Assault down to 2. So Margle up to 4 and Assault down to 2, and then put 2 of the crit in. I just don't think it's worth it. I think the PG is way too useful. Because you want to keep hand, you want to be able to just guard extra if need be and have resources in hand. So yeah, that is my Altmile build for now. As I said, it's going to continuously change. There's so much you can do with Altmile, so many flex spots. But if and when I do update it, I'll let you guys know and bring you another deck profile. But I hope you enjoyed this one for now. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.